The shuttle landed with a soft hiss on the docking platform of Station Helix 7. Emily Parker grabbed her bag and stepped out into the artificial sunlight of the Galactic Academy. She took a deep breath. The air smelled clean, recycled, and completely alien. This was her new home now. Emily was 32 years old. She had brown hair that she kept in a simple ponytail, kind eyes, and a smile that could make anyone feel welcome. Back on Earth, she had been a teacher at a small school in Ohio. She loved children. She loved teaching. When the Galactic Council offered her a position as the first human instructor at their most famous academy, she said yes without thinking twice. Now, standing in the middle of a space station thousands of light years from home, she wondered if she had made a mistake. Aliens walked past her in every direction. Some had 4 arms. Some had scales. Some floated on clouds of gas. They all looked at her the same way. Their eyes held fear, curiosity, and something else. Something that made Emily feel like a dangerous animal in a zoo. She knew why they looked at her like that. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy. They were classified as Class 4 persistence predators. The galaxy had many predator species, but humans were different. They did not have claws or fangs or venom. What they had was worse. They had patience. They had endurance. They could chase prey for days without stopping. They could survive injuries that would kill other species. And when they decided to protect something, they would not stop until they succeeded, or died trying. This made humans terrifying to most alien species. Emily did not feel terrifying. She felt nervous. She walked through the Academy's main hall, following the signs to the administration office. The walls were made of a smooth white material that glowed softly. Plants from 100 different worlds grew in pots along the corridors. Students rushed past her, chattering in languages she could not understand. Her translator implant worked hard to keep up. The administrator was a tall being with blue skin and 6 eyes. His name was Director Wells, and he seemed nervous to meet her. "Ms. Parker," he said, his voice formal and cold. "Welcome to the Galactic Academy. We are pleased to have you here." He did not sound pleased. He sounded like someone who had been forced to invite a dangerous guest into his home. "Thank you," Emily said. "I am excited to start teaching." Director Wells handed her a tablet with her class information. "You will be teaching junior xenobiology. Your students range from age 4 to age 12 in human years. There are 32 of them from 12 different species." Emily looked at the list of names. Most of them she could not pronounce. But 2 names caught her attention. Kira and Theo. Their species was listed as Velith. "Velith," Emily said. "I have heard of them." Director Wells shifted uncomfortably. All 6 of his eyes blinked at different times. "Yes, the Velith are a challenging species. They are apex predators from the outer rim, very dangerous, very feared. The 2 cubs in your class are children of the Pack Mother herself. She sent them here as a gesture of peace between the Velith and the Galactic Council." "Children of a leader," Emily said. "That must be a lot of pressure for them." Director Wells looked surprised. He had expected her to ask about danger, about safety protocols, about how to protect herself from predator children. Instead, she was thinking about the children's feelings. "Just be careful with them," he said finally. "The Velith are not like other species. They are hunters. It is in their blood." Emily smiled. "So am I, Director. But that does not mean I cannot be kind." She left the office and found her classroom. It was a large room with curved desks arranged in a circle. Bright lights came from the ceiling. A large window showed the stars outside. Emily spent an hour arranging the room, putting up colorful posters and setting out supplies. She wanted the children to feel welcomed on the next morning. Her students arrived. They came in groups and alone, big and small, scaled and furred and feathered. Emily greeted each one at the door with a smile. Some smiled back. Others looked at her with wide, frightened eyes. One small creature with wings actually flew to the back of the room to get away from her. Then Kira and Theo walked in. They were small, about the size of human 5-year-olds. They had soft golden fur, 6 legs, and enormous eyes that glowed like liquid gold. Their ears were large and pointed. Their tails hung low, almost touching the ground. They looked nothing like the fearsome Velith warriors Emily had seen in pictures. They looked like scared children. The moment they entered, the room went quiet. The other students moved away from them, pressing against the walls. Fear filled the air like a bad smell. Kira and Theo walked to the back corner of the room. They sat close together, their small bodies touching. They did not look at anyone. Their ears were flat against their heads. Emily's heart broke a little. She taught her first lesson. She talked about the different ecosystems of the galaxy, about how life adapted to survive in different environments. She asked questions and encouraged answers. Slowly, the students relaxed. They began to raise their hands, to participate, to laugh at her jokes. But Kira and Theo stayed silent. They watched everything with those big golden eyes, but they did not speak. They did not raise their hands. When Emily asked them a question directly, they gave one-word answers in voices so quiet she could barely hear them. At lunch, Emily watched from her desk as the students formed groups. They shared food. They talked and played. But Kira and Theo sat alone at a table in the corner. No one went near them. No one spoke to them. Emily made a decision. She picked up her lunch and walked across the cafeteria. Every eye in the room watched her. She sat down across from the 2 cubs. "Do you mind if I eat with you?" she asked. Kira and Theo stared at her. Their golden eyes were huge with surprise. "You want to sit with us?" Theo asked. His voice trembled. "Yes," Emily said simply. "Is that okay?" The cubs looked at each other. Then, slowly, Kira nodded. "You are not afraid of us?" she asked. Emily unwrapped her sandwich and took a bite. "Should I be?" "Everyone else is," Kira said quietly. "They say we are monsters. They say our parents are killers. They say we will grow up to hurt people." Emily put down her sandwich. She looked at both cubs very seriously. "Do you want to hurt people?" she asked. "No," both cubs said together, their ears standing straight up with alarm. "Then you are not monsters," Emily said. "You are just kids. And kids should not have to eat lunch alone." Something changed in the cub's eyes. Something soft and warm, like a candle being lit in a dark room. For the first time since she arrived, Emily felt like she had done something right. The weeks passed slowly on Station Helix 7. Emily fell into a routine. She woke up early. She prepared her lessons. She taught her students. She ate lunch with Kira and Theo. And every day, little by little, the 2 cubs began to change. It started with small things. Theo began to raise his hand in class. His answers were quiet at first, almost whispers. But Emily always listened carefully. She always praised him when he got something right. She always encouraged him when he got something wrong. "That is a good try, Theo," she would say. "Let us work through it together." Kira took longer to open up. She was the older of the 2 cubs, and she carried her pain deeper inside. But Emily noticed how Kira watched her, how she listened to every word Emily said, how her ears perked up whenever Emily talked about Earth and its animals. One day, Emily brought pictures to class. She showed her students images of Earth's creatures. Lions with golden manes, wolves running through snow, eagles soaring above mountains, sharks cutting through blue water. "These are predators from my planet," Emily explained. They hunt to survive, but they are also parents. They protect their young. They play with their children. They form families and bonds that last their whole lives. She clicked to a new image. It showed a mother wolf with her cubs, all of them sleeping together in a pile. Being a predator does not make you evil, Emily said. It is just part of nature. What matters is how you choose to live. What matters is how you treat others. After class, Kira stayed behind. She walked up to Emily's desk with her tail curled nervously behind her. "Ms. Parker," she said, "can I ask you something?" "Of course, Kira. You can ask me anything. Do humans really hunt like the stories say? Do they chase things until they die?" Emily sat down so she could look Kira in the eyes. "Yes," she said honestly. "Humans are persistence hunters. Long ago, before we had technology, we would chase animals for hours, sometimes days. We could not run as fast as them, but we could run longer. We would follow them until they were too tired to run anymore." Kira's ears flattened. "That sounds scary." "It can be," Emily admitted. "But we do not do that anymore. Now we use that same persistence for other things. We use it to solve problems, to help people, to protect the ones we love." She smiled gently. "Being a predator gave us strength, but we choose how to use that strength." Kira was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked the question that had been burning inside her for weeks. Double quotes, "Miss Parker, do you think I am a monster?" Emily's heart ached at the pain in the little cub's voice. She reached out slowly, giving Kira time to pull away if she wanted. When Kira did not move, Emily gently placed her hand on the cub's head between her ears. "Kira, I think you're a kind, smart, brave little girl. You are not a monster. You are not your species. You are you. And you get to decide who you become." Tears welled up in Kira's golden eyes. She made a sound that was half sob, half purr, and pressed her head against Emily's hand. From that day on, Kira became Emily's shadow. She helped pass out supplies. She volunteered to answer questions. She even started correcting other students when they made mistakes, though Emily had to teach her to do it nicely. Theo changed too. He started smiling more. He started playing with some of the other students during breaks. A few brave children had decided that the cubs were not so scary after all. They formed a small group that ate lunch together, played games together, and studied together. Emily protected them all. One afternoon, a group of older students from the Crystalline Collective cornered Kira in the hallway. The Crystalline Collective was a species of living crystal. They were beautiful but cold, and they had a deep hatred for predator species. "Look at the little monster," one of them said, "pretending to be like normal people." "Your parents killed my uncle," another said. "Your whole species should be locked up." "Or destroyed," said a third. Kira pressed against the wall, trembling. Her fur stood up in fear. She was just a child. She did not know what to say. Then Emily appeared. She walked between Kira and the older students. Her face was calm, but her eyes were hard. The older students stepped back without meaning to. Something about the way the humans stood made their survival instincts scream warnings. "Is there a problem here?" Emily asked. Her voice was quiet. Too quiet. "This does not concern you, human," one of the crystalline students said, but his voice shook. "This student is in my class," Emily said. "That makes her my responsibility. And I will not allow bullying. Not today. Not ever. She is a predator. She is dangerous." Emily tilted her head. "So am I, and right now, I am the most dangerous thing in this hallway. So I suggest you leave. Now." The crystalline students looked at each other. They saw something in Emily's eyes that they did not want to test. They left without another word. Emily turned to Kira. "Are you okay?" Kira nodded. her golden eyes shining with tears and something else. Something like hope. "Thank you, Miss Parker." Emily knelt down and hugged the little cub gently. "You never have to thank me for protecting you, Kira. That is what teachers do. That is what family does." Far away, in the Outer Rim, the Velith Pack mother sat in her ship and watched the video feed from her children's emergency beacons. She had planted those beacons so she could always see what her cubs were doing, always know if they were safe. Now she watched a human hold her daughter. She watched this strange, soft creature stand against bullies to protect Velith cubs. She watched Emily tell Kira that she was family. The pack mother did not understand. Humans were predators. Predators did not protect children that were not their own. Predators did not form bonds with other species. Everything the pack mother knew about the galaxy said that this human should fear her children, or try to use them or ignore them at best. But this human loved them. The pack mother could see it clearly. This Emily Parker loved Kira and Theo as if they were her own cubs. It was impossible. It went against nature, and yet it was real. The pack mother leaned back in her chair and thought for a long time. She had sent her children to the academy as a political gesture. She had expected them to suffer. She had expected them to learn that the galaxy was cruel and cold. Instead, they had found something wonderful. They had found a human who treated them like they mattered. The pack mother made a decision. She would continue watching. She would learn more about this Emily Parker. And if anything ever threatened her children, she would be ready. She did not know that the test would come so soon. 3 months had passed since Emily arrived at Station Helix 7. She had become one of the most popular teachers at the academy. Her students loved her. Even the other teachers, who had been so nervous about having a human on staff, now smiled when they saw her in the hallways. But Emily's greatest success was Kira and Theo. The two cubs had changed completely. They were happy now. They laughed and played like normal children. Their grades were excellent. They had friends. Other students no longer ran away from them. Some even fought over who got to be their partner for group projects. Emily was so proud of them. On the day everything changed, she had planned a special field trip. Her class would visit the botanical gardens on the outer ring of the station. The gardens were famous throughout the galaxy. They held plants from over 1,000 different worlds. Some glowed in the dark. Some sang when you touched them. Some were so beautiful that people traveled across the galaxy just to see them. Emily gathered her students at the entrance to the gardens. She counted heads. 32 students? Good. Everyone was here. Stay together, she told them. The gardens are very big, and it is easy to get lost. If you see something interesting, tell me, and we will all go look together. The students nodded and followed her inside. The gardens were even more beautiful than Emily had imagined. Huge trees with silver leaves stretched toward the glass ceiling. Flowers in every color covered the ground like living carpets. Waterfalls flowed upward, defying gravity thanks to special technology. Tiny creatures flew between the plants, some carrying pollen, others just enjoying the beauty. The students spread out a little as they explored. Emily kept a careful eye on them, but she let them have some freedom. They were good kids. They would not cause trouble. Kira and Theo walked ahead of the group. They wanted to see the phosphorescent flowers that only bloomed once a year. The flowers glowed with a soft blue light that looked like captured moonlight. Double quotes, Miss Parker. Can we go see the glowing flowers? Theo asked. They are just around the corner. Emily looked at the path. It curved gently through a grove of tall ferns. She could still see them if they went that far. Okay, she said. But stay where I can see you. And come right back. The cubs ran ahead, their 6 legs carrying them quickly over the soft ground. Emily smiled as she watched them go. They were so happy, so free. Then the alarm started screaming. Red lights flashed everywhere. A voice echoed through the station. Cold and mechanical. Emergency. Containment breach. All personnel evacuate to safe rooms. This is not a drill. Repeat. This is not a drill. Emily's blood went cold. She turned to her students. "Everyone come to me right now," she said. Her voice was calm but firm. The students obeyed immediately, gathering around her in a tight group. Emily counted heads. 30-30-1. Where were Kira and Theo? She looked toward the path where the cubs had gone. They were not there. The ferns blocked her view of what was beyond. A new announcement came through the speakers. Warning. Rathker loose on station. Last. Seen in Sector 7. The Botanical Gardens. Air in Sector 7. All personnel in Sector 7 must shelter in place. The students began to panic. Some cried. Others screamed. Emily held up her hands. "Listen to me," she said, her voice cutting through the fear. "We are going to be okay. I need everyone to stay calm. Grace, take over." Grace Blake was Emily's teaching assistant. She was a young woman from a plant-based species called Florians. Her skin was green, and flowers grew in her hair. She was gentle and kind, but right now, her eyes were wide with terror. "Emily, what are you doing?" Grace asked. "Kira and Theo are still out there," Emily said. "I have to find them." "You cannot go out there." Grace grabbed Emily's arm. "A Rathker is a killing machine. It has 6 eyes, claws like swords, and teeth that can bite through metal. It will tear you apart." Emily looked at her assistant. Her face was calm. Too calm. "Those are my students," she said. "I will not leave them alone with that thing." She looked around the garden and found a tool shed nearby. Inside, she found a curved blade meant for trimming thick vines. It was not much of a weapon, but it was better than nothing. "Take the students to the back of the conservatory," Emily told Grace. "There is a storage room with a reinforced door. Lock yourselves inside and do not open it for anyone except me or station security. Emily, please. Take care of them, Grace." Emily did not wait for a response. She turned and ran toward the path where Kira and Theo had gone. The gardens were silent now, except for the screaming alarms. The beautiful plants suddenly looked menacing, their shadows deep and dark. Emily moved quickly but carefully, her eyes scanning every direction. She found the phosphorescent flowers. They glowed softly in the emergency lighting, blue and peaceful, as if they did not know that death was stalking the gardens. But Kira and Theo were not there. Emily heard a sound. A soft whimper, coming from deeper in the garden. She followed it, pushing through hanging vines and climbing over rootstock. She found them behind a fountain. The 2 cubs were pressed together, their fur standing up in terror, their golden eyes huge. They were trembling so hard that Emily could see it from 10 meters away. Relief flooded through her. They were alive. Then she heard another sound. A low growl, deep and hungry, coming from the shadows ahead. Emily stepped forward, putting herself between the cubs and the darkness. "Get behind me," she said quietly. "Move slowly. Do not run." The cubs scrambled to obey, pressing against her legs. The shadows moved. Something massive stepped into the light. Emily had seen pictures of Rathker before. The pictures did not do the creature justice. It was 3 meters tall, covered in black scales that gleamed like wet oil. It had 6 eyes arranged in 2 rows, all of them fixed on her with predatory intelligence. Its claws were longer than her forearm. Its mouth was full of teeth that curved inward, designed to grip prey and never let go. It was the most terrifying thing Emily had ever seen. And it was looking at Kira and Theo, with hunger in its eyes. Emily raised her blade. Her hands did not shake. Her heart pounded, but her mind was clear. She was a Class 4 persistence predator. Her ancestors had survived ice ages, famines, and wars. They had faced down lions and bears and wolves with nothing but sticks and stones. This Rathker did not know it yet, but it had just made a terrible mistake that it had threatened her cubs. See, the Rathker did not attack right away. It was a smart hunter. It liked to study its prey before striking. It circled slowly to the left, its 6 eyes never leaving Emily and the cubs behind her. Emily turned with it, always keeping herself between the creature and the children. She held the curved blade in front of her, low and ready. Her father had been a Marine. He had taught her how to fight when she was young. She remembered his lessons now. Stay calm, her father had said. Fear makes you stupid. Fear makes you slow. Control your breathing. Watch your enemy. Wait for the right moment. Emily controlled her breathing. She watched the Rathker. She waited. Miss Parker, Kira whispered behind her. We should run. No, Emily said softly. Running triggers the chase instinct. Right now, it is confused. It does not know what I am. If we run, it will attack. But you cannot fight it, Theo said. His voice was shaking. It is too big. Too strong. I do not need to beat it, Emily said. I just need to buy time. Security will come. We just have to survive until then. The Rathker growled again. It was getting impatient. This prey was not acting right. Prey was supposed to run. Prey was supposed to scream. But this small creature just stood there, watching it with calm, steady eyes. The Rathker took a step forward. Emily did not move. She did not flinch. She stared directly into the creature's eyes. You want them? She said. Her voice was quiet but hard as steel. You go through me. The Rathker stopped. Something in the human's voice made it hesitate. This was wrong. This was very wrong. The prey was too calm. The prey was not afraid. And there was something in its eyes, something old and dangerous, something that the Rathker's primitive brain recognized as a warning. This creature was a predator too. Emily saw the hesitation. She pressed her advantage. I know what you are, she said, stepping forward. The Rathker actually stepped back. You are a hunter. So am I, but I am not your prey. I am something far worse. She took another step forward. The Rathker's eyes flickered with confusion. My species hunted in the ice ages when the world was frozen, Emily continued, her voice getting stronger. We survived when stronger, faster creatures died. Do you know how we did it? We did not give up. We never stopped. We would chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. We would track wounded animals for days. We would fight predators twice our size to protect our children. Another step forward. The Rathker's tail twitched nervously. You can kill me, Emily said. Maybe you will. But before I die, I will hurt you. I will take your eyes. I will cut your throat. I will make you bleed. And even if I fall, others will come. My species does not forget. My species does not forgive. If you touch these children, humans will hunt you to the end of the galaxy. The Rathker stood frozen. Its instincts were screaming at it. This was not right. This was not prey. This was something else, something that felt familiar and terrifying at the same time. For a long moment, nothing moved. The standoff stretched on. Emily's arms burned from holding up the blade, but she did not lower it. Kira and Theo pressed against her back, their small hearts pounding. Then the Rathker made its decision. It opened its mouth and roared, a sound so loud that Emily felt it in her bones. It crouched, ready to spring. Emily raised her blade. She was going to die. She knew it now. But she would not run. She would not abandon her cubs. She thought of her parents, back on Earth. She thought of her little apartment with the pictures on the walls. She thought of Kira and Theo and how much they had grown. At least she had given them a few good months. At least they knew that someone loved them. The Rathker leaped, and then the ceiling exploded. Glass and metal rained down as something crashed through the conservatory roof. Emily threw herself over Kira and Theo, covering them with her body. Debris bounced off her back. Something cut her shoulder. She did not care. When she looked up, she saw something impossible. A Velith warrior stood between her and the Rathker. 8 feet tall, golden fur, claws that gleamed like knives, eyes that burned with a fury so intense that Emily could feel it in her soul. It was the Pack Mother. The Rathker tried to turn and fight, but it was already too late. The Pack Mother moved faster than Emily could see. One moment the Rathker was alive. The next moment, it was in pieces on the garden floor. More Velith warriors dropped through the hole in the ceiling. A dozen of them, all massive, all armed, all radiating deadly intent. They spread out through the garden, searching for other threats. The Pack Mother turned to face Emily. She was beautiful in a terrifying way. Her fur was silver and gold, and it rippled with muscle beneath. Her eyes were the same color as Kira and Theo's, liquid gold that seemed to glow from within. Her claws were longer than Emily's fingers, curved and sharp as razors. She could kill Emily in a heartbeat. Emily stood up slowly. Her shoulder was bleeding. Her whole body ached. But she did not put down the blade. She stepped in front of Kira and Theo again, shielding them with her body. The Pack Mother's eyes narrowed. "Move aside, human," she growled. Her voice was deep and resonant, like thunder in the distance. Emily did not move. "I need to know they will be safe," she said. The Pack Mother blinked. For a moment, surprise flickered across her alien features. "They are my children," she said. "I am their mother, and I am their teacher," Emily replied. "I have protected them for 3 months. I will not stop now. Not until I know you will not hurt them." The Pack Mother stared at her. Behind her, the Velith warriors shifted uneasily. No one spoke to the Pack Mother this way. No one challenged her. And certainly no one stood between a Velith and her cubs. "You would fight me?" the Pack Mother asked. There was something strange in her voice. Not anger. Something else. "If I had to," Emily said. "Yes, you would die. Maybe. Probably. But I would try." The Pack Mother was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, the tension left her body. Her claws retracted. Her ears relaxed. Something like wonder filled her golden eyes. "Mama?" Kira's small voice broke the silence. She and Theo peeked out from behind Emily, their eyes wide. "The teacher protected us, Mama," Theo said. She was going to fight the monster. "For us." The Pack Mother looked at Emily, really looked at her. She saw the blood on her shoulder. She saw the blade still raised, still ready to defend cubs that were not her own species. She saw the determination in this human's eyes, the absolute refusal to abandon children that she had no biological reason to protect. And the Pack Mother understood. This human was not just a predator. She was something more. Something that the Pack Mother had never expected to find in another species. She was Pack. The garden was silent, except for the distant sound of alarms. The Rathker lay dead on the ground. The Velith warriors stood in a circle, watching. And in the middle of it all, a human woman faced the most powerful predator in the Outer Rim. Emily's arm trembled. The blade was getting heavy. Blood ran down her shoulder and dripped onto the floor. But she did not lower her weapon. She did not step aside. The Pack Mother took a slow step forward. Emily tensed, ready to fight, ready to die. But the Pack Mother did not attack. Instead, she raised one massive clawed hand and gently pushed Emily's blade down. "Put that away, human," she said. Her voice was softer now, almost gentle. I am not going to hurt my children. Or you? Emily hesitated. She looked into the pack mother's eyes, searching for deception. She found none. Slowly, carefully, she lowered the blade. How did you know? Emily asked. How did you know we were in danger? I have watched my cubs since the day they arrived here, the pack mother said. Their emergency beacons send me video. I have seen everything. She paused. I saw you protect them from the crystal children. I saw you hold my daughter when she cried. I saw you teach my son when he struggled. You were watching the whole time? A mother always watches. Kira and Theo ran out from behind Emily. They threw themselves at the pack mother, wrapping their small arms around her legs. She bent down and gathered them up, pressing them against her chest. For a moment, she was not a fearsome predator or a powerful leader. She was just a mother holding her children. Mama, we were so scared, Kira said, her voice muffled against her mother's fur. But the teacher stayed with us, Theo added. She did not run away. She was going to fight the monster. The pack mother looked at Emily over her children's heads. Her golden eyes were unreadable. Yes, she said. I saw that too. Emily's legs suddenly felt weak. The danger was over. The adrenaline was fading. She sat down heavily on a nearby rock. Still holding her injured shoulder, one of the Veleth warriors approached with a medical kit. He was younger than the others, with lighter fur and curious eyes. He knelt beside Emily and began treating her wound without being asked. I am called Jack, he said. I am the pack mother's personal guard. You have earned the respect of the Veleth today, human. I just did what anyone would do. Emily said. Jack made a sound that might have been a laugh. No, you did not. I have studied many species. Most would have run. Most would have sacrificed the cubs to save themselves. Only a predator would stand and fight. Only a mother would protect children that were not her own. Emily did not know what to say to that. The pack mother set her cubs down and walked toward Emily. Her massive form blocked out the light. She stood over the human, looking down at her with an expression that Emily could not read. What is your name? The pack mother asked. Emily. Emily Parker. Emily Parker, the pack mother repeated. She seemed to taste the name, to memorize it. I have misjudged your species. I thought humans were simple hunters, dangerous but predictable. I was wrong. She reached out one clawed hand. Emily forced herself not to flinch. The pack mother placed her hand on Emily's uninjured shoulder. You are not merely persistence predators, she said. You are something more. You form bonds with creatures that are not your kind. You protect children that are not your blood. You stand against death for those you love, even when you cannot win. Her grip tightened slightly. Among my people, there is no higher honor than this. To be willing to die for cubs that are not your own. To be willing to fight when all hope is lost. This is what makes someone pack. Emily looked up at the massive alien. What are you saying? The pack mother pressed her forehead against Emily's. Her fur was soft and warm. Her breath smelled like spice and wind. This close, Emily could see the centuries of wisdom in her eyes. From this day forward, the pack mother said, you are pack sister to the Veleth. You are family. Your enemies are our enemies. Your children are our children. And should any creature in this galaxy ever threaten you or those you love, they will learn why the Veleth are feared. Emily's eyes filled with tears. She had left Earth alone. She had come to this station as a stranger, feared and avoided. And now, the most powerful predator species in the galaxy was calling her family. I do not know what to say, she whispered. Say nothing. Words are not needed between pack. The pack mother stepped back. She looked at her warriors. Spread the word, she commanded. Emily Parker of Earth is under Veleth's protection. Any who harm her will answer to me. The warriors struck their chests in salute and began speaking into their communicators. Within minutes, the news would spread across the galaxy. A human had been adopted by the Velith. A human had been named Pat-Sister. Everything had changed. In the days that followed, Emily became famous. News networks wanted to interview her. Politicians wanted to meet her. Scientists wanted to study her. She refused them all. She was just a teacher. She had just done her job. But she could not refuse the cubs. Kira and Theo returned to class as soon as the station reopened. They walked through the hallways with their heads held high. No one bullied them now. No one avoided them. The story of their teacher's courage had spread through the entire academy. After class on their first day back, Kira and Theo stayed behind. They walked up to Emily's desk together, their golden eyes bright. "Miss Parker," Kira said, "we talked to our mother. She says we can stay at the academy until we graduate. She says she trusts you to take care of us." Emily smiled. "I am glad. I would have missed you both." "She also said something else," Theo added. He looked nervous, excited, and hopeful all at once. "She said that if you ever want to visit our home world, you would be welcome. She said you could stay as long as you want. She said you are family." Emily's heart swelled. She thought about her empty apartment on the station. She thought about the family she had left behind on Earth, and she thought about the two small aliens standing in front of her, looking at her like she was the most important person in the universe. "Tell your mother I would like that very much," Emily said. "Tell her I would be honored to visit." Kira and Theo cheered. They ran forward and hugged Emily tightly, their small arms wrapped around her waist. Emily hugged them back, careful of her still healing shoulder. "We love you, Miss Parker," Kira whispered. "I love you too," Emily said. "Both of you, always." She held them close and thought about how strange life was. She had come to Station Helix 7 to teach alien children. She had not expected to find a family. She had not expected to become Pack, but she had, and she would protect her Pack until her last breath. Outside the window, the stars sparkled in the endless dark. Somewhere out there, the Velith home world waited. Somewhere out there, a mother watched through hidden cameras and smiled. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders. But Emily Parker had found the greatest wonder of all. She had found where she belonged.